Hey guys, Itaewon Sammy here, and it is Fun Day Sunday. It is December 29th, and we just finished Christmas, and this is the couple of days between Christmas and New Year. It's Sunday Fun Day for me. I'm not working. I'm just in casual, haven't shaved, haven't really changed my shirt, casual. And I'm just enjoying a Sunday afternoon at home, sitting on the floor because it's nice and warm on the floor. I got the floor heat on. It's a little chilly outside. I think it's like 1 or 2 degrees outside. But I like to have the floor heat on and just, you know, in a t-shirt and tracksuit. So today, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? And I'm multitasking, so I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to do a little bit of other stuff at the same time. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about love in a foreign land. This is going to be a multi-part story about a friend of mine. Sorry, I don't want to say friend, an acquaintance. Someone who I knew over the last, I'm going to say 4 years. And this is his story. He knows I'm doing it, and I'm going to change the names to protect the innocent. But this is a story I've heard many times, not only in Korea, but you know, in other countries as well. So I don't know why this keeps moving. All right, I'm trying to reset it here to center on my face. All right, look in the lens, Sam. Look in the lens. Oh, by the way, everyone, I really want to say thank you for subscribing. I got a lot of videos that have gone viral and done really well, like in the thousands, okay? And that's all because of some collaborators that I'm working with, and I'm working on Reddit and things like that, so I'm promoting some videos. So hopefully, if you do like what I'm talking about and you like the content, please click the subscribe button down below. And also, if you don't want to subscribe, at least just click the like button or make a quick comment, because that really does help get my videos out there to other people, okay? I thank you very much for everyone. So today's story, like I said, it's called Love in a Foreign Land, a multi-part story. So let's start with part 1, okay? So we're going to call this guy Jay, and he's an American. He lives in Alaska, right? He's from Alaska. He's a little older. I'm going to say he's in his late 40s when this story happened. This story happened 4 years ago. I casually met him in Itaewon, and he was a friend of a friend, and he was a really nice guy. Sweet guy, not pretentious, on vacation, liked Korea, and wanted to, you know, hang out in Korea. He was following the K-pop wave. I don't know why he got involved in K-pop, but anyway. The story is he really liked the culture. He loved the food. He's a white guy. You know, he wasn't Asian or anything like that. But he had heard so much about Korea, and he wanted to experience the Korean life. So my friend had introduced me to him to, like, just say, can you give this guy a little chat? You know, talk to him about living here because he's thinking about maybe retiring here. And I'm like, that's interesting. So I met up with him, and we're going to call him Jay. Okay, that's not his real name, but we're going to call him Jay because there's more people to add to the story, and I've got to add the names. So I'm going to do like J, K, and L and stuff like that. So just so I can keep track of everything, because this is going to be a multi-part story. So anyway, Jay came here in the summer of, let's say, 2015. Yes, 2015. It was 4 years ago. And that's when I met him, in the spring, summer of 2015, and I was working at a bar at that time. So my friend had brought him along, and he was well off. You know, he wasn't filthy rich, but he was working. So he had money. He was single, no kids, never been married, and he was just looking to enjoy life. He was here for 3 months. Because he worked in a mining company. He was a trucker. So he drove those big trucks. And so he would work 8 months of the year and have 4 months off. So he had traveled, you know, to Thailand, to Cambodia, to Vietnam, you know, all over the place. And he had this, I don't want to say he had yellow fever, but he had an interest in Asian cultures. It's just, seriously, he wasn't here for the women or anything at that point. He was here more for the culture. He really liked the culture. He appreciated the culture and its history and the food. He really just wanted to, you know, pick my brain about, you know, what I thought about living here and how I had come to live here. So that's why my friend had, you know, asked me to talk to him and chat with him. So he was really like a sparkle of a guy. You know, he's always fun. And, you know, I'm running a club, so he would come by the club and, you know, he'd buy a table. So, of course, I'm, you know, taking care of him, introducing him to people and everything. And he's having a fun time. Now, hindsight being 20/20, I introduced him to one person I know who maybe I shouldn't have introduced him to. When I think back on it, should I have done it? Would this story have been the way it ended had I introduced him to this person? And I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe his life would have been different had I not introduced him to this person. But then I'm like, nah, he would have still gone down that same path, just with somebody else. So here's what happened. So he's not here to meet anybody. He's here just to explore the country, the culture, and learn about Korea. So I'd given him tips and everything like that. At that time, I really couldn't go out with him. So I only met him on like the weekends and at the club. And, but we would talk, you know, we would talk a long time because he was a very interesting person. So let me give you a little bit background on him. So at that point, he was almost the same age as me, I would say. Yeah, I'm going to say he's about the same age as me. Maybe, yeah, so 4 years ago, yeah, he was just a little bit younger than me. A year or so. Anyway, let's say he's 45 at that time. Yeah, he was 45. 44 or 45. Anyway, he had been working as a trucker. He was born in Alaska. He's been one of those supply truckers or something like that. Not ice road trucker, but he worked for the mines. And he would work for 8 months, you know, 12-hour shifts, working, driving and stuff like that. And then he'd have like 4 months off. And he made good money. He made really good money. You know, he was living in a nice place. He wasn't like showing off his money and stuff like that. But you could tell he was, you know, high school educated, but he was of a sophisticated style he had. I'm not going to say he was James Bond. He was more, how do I put it? He was sophisticated, let's put it that way. And he had a spark about him that attracted people to him. So he was always happy and smiling. So anyway, that's, you know, basically Jay. So I introduced him to this one person I knew. And they hit it off, a guy. And they were going around, you know, Seoul and stuff like that. Going to different places and things like that. So I would hear the stories, you know, every weekend about where they went, what they did. And this went on for, you know, the 3 months, 4 months that he was here. So then he went back to Alaska for 8 months. And I kept in touch, you know, I as VIP guests do, you know, through Facebook or what have you. And he was like, oh, I had such a great time. Thank you so much. I'm coming back definitely. You need to, you know, make sure that I get a good place close to Itaewon. I want to hang out and explore more, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, I think nothing of it because, you know, I have lots of people who say, yeah, I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And never happens. But, you know, lo and behold, 6 months later, 7 months later, I get the text message. Yeah, I'm coming. I booked my flight and everything. I want to stay at this place. Do you recommend it? And I'm like, yeah, you know, that's a good place. Or here's another couple of places that you can think about, what have you, blah, blah, blah. And I think it was early summer, late spring, and he's back. So this time he's coming and he's staying for the full 4 months. So he's staying for the summer. And he's staying at a, you know, pretty nice place near Itaewon. And this time I hang out with him a little bit and I take him around to the different places. And he wants to go, you know, he wants to check out Gangnam and stuff like that. And so I take him around, and this other guy joins up as well. Let's call him L. So L is a bit of a old school style Korean, and he knows everybody, and he goes around, he knows everybody knows him. I mean, he's been around the block a couple of times. He's not a bad guy, he's just, you know, he's a party guy like me. So what ends up happening is that they end up going to let's say not the best venues in Gangnam. And he introduces them to some ladies. And these ladies are, let's say, of the more professional nature. I'll just leave it at that, okay? And because L is well known and J has money, these ladies are, how shall we put it, very kind to J. And they're Gangnam style girls. Very attractive, very pretty, very K-pop-ish in their style. And J, being, you know, from Alaska and from America and growing up in Alaska, he hasn't really met that many women, from what I could tell. He became, how shall we put it, I don't want to say addicted, but he came to enjoy the attention that he was getting. And so this is his second year in Korea, or second time in Korea. So I'm going to say he's been in Korea maybe a total of 4 months. 3 months the previous year, and he's been here a month this time. So this is 2016. So now he meets someone, and we're going to call her K. All right, he meets K. Now K is a little older. She's in her late 20s, early 30s. And when I met them the first time, I didn't really know much about her, but I've learned over the course of time, over the 5 years, I've learned, you know, a little bit more about her. So let's speed it up a little bit and say she'd been around in the business for at least 10 years, from what I had learned. She wasn't married, she didn't have kids, but she knew which side her bread was buttered on. And let's just put it this way, when she met Jay, I don't know what Elle told her about him, but she sunk her teeth into him. Let's just put it that way. She sunk her teeth into him, and he loved it. She was smart enough to be able to cater to his ego and to his desires. So let's just leave it at that for part 1. In part 2, we're going to talk about what ended up happening. Can you guess where the story is going? Maybe you want to comment and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. All right, so part 2 is coming up. I want to thank everybody for listening. Itaewon Sammy, I'm out.